For this segment of the show, we have been very privileged to have been joined by the Israeli ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Ami Mel. And for the next few minutes, we'll spend time with him and talk to him and try to get to understand his impressions of Ghana, how Ghana-Israeli relationship is, working out, and talk about a lot of other issues. But you stay tuned and join us. If your friends have missed it, tell them to tune in and to watch us live on TV3. Welcome, His Excellency.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to be here.
Right. Let's get into our conversation. You've been in Ghana for a while now. I want to know candidly from your point of view, what has been your serious impressions about Ghana since you came in?
Well, we arrived here in summer 2015. It means we are over 1 year here. We've learned a lot. We learned a lot about Ghana. We have learned a lot about Africa. For us, it's the first posting in Africa. We have very good impressions from Ghana because we see hope. We see lots of chances. We see a huge change in perceptions of the people about their future. I am really happy to see the way the people of Ghana treat higher education. It's not obvious. It's not obvious that almost everyone wants to go to the university for better future. Every parent, even if he's the poorest parent in Ghana, wants a better future for his children. And that is very encouraging. You can see the development. There's a lot of development around. A lot of things that you still should do, but think you can see the change. And I'm very happy to be to serve in a country where you have hope.
All right, very interesting. And typically before you go into any country, I'm sure you may read a lot, watch a lot of things on TV or radio, with whatever it is with regards to a particular country. Now you have come into Ghana. Do you compare the impressions you had before you came in to what it is you have now? Are they the same, or you think that the hype is not just the same?
Well, as I said, it's for me the first posting in Africa, and I was tabula rasa. I had no idea about what is really going on, and of course I read a lot. One of the books that I read, I found in Israel. It's the autobiography of Nkrumah. And I have it in Hebrew here.
Oh, I see.
And I read and I understood that Ghana is different. That Ghana is a leading country in Africa, the first one to be independent, the first one to become a democracy. And I'm sure that Ghana is going to be also the first African country to be a developed country. It's not going to happen in the next 4 or 8 years. It's a process. It may take another 20, 25 years. But I'm sure that Ghana will reach the point of developed country, exactly as Israel did it, exactly as South Korea did it. Ghana will be there.
The next one to get there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Usually people say Ghanaians are friendly. Well, we live in Ghana, so we are unable to say if that is the case, and Ghanaians are welcoming and all that. But with your 1 year stay here in Ghana, your engagement with your staff at the embassy, and when you go for meetings and all the other engagements, do you agree with that assertion that indeed generally Ghanaians are the most friendliest people in the world?
Well, I cannot compare it. I cannot say the most, but Ghanaians are very, very friendly people. And within 1 year, we have lots of real, true friends here in Ghana. When you go for a meeting, it's always nice. It's always with a smile, and it's far more comfortable to work in a country where you see the smiles all over. Than to be in a country where you know that you are being followed all the time. So yes, Ghanaians are very, very friendly, and it's a huge advantage, not only for Ghanaians, but also for guests like me.
Who come into our country. I see. And we talk a lot about our food. Ghanaians, we have the confidence that our food tastes very nice. I'm sure you've heard about jollof and kenke and banku and all that. So far, have you ate any of our local dishes, and have you been impressed?
Well, Ghanaian food for a person like me is far too hot, to tell you the truth. It's not that I don't have my favorite Ghanaian dishes, like granite soup, for example.
Oh, you like granite soup?
I love it.
Wow. What do you usually take it with rice or just the soup alone?
The soup with fish.
Wow.
Or red.
Red.
You know, with the plantain
With the
aside.
plantain, I see.
And some other things. When it's not spicy, I can eat
You
it.
can go for it.
If it's too spicy, I'm really sorry.
It's a
I'm sure
for
it's
you.
very, very tasty for you, but it's
The pepper,
not
too hot.
it's not for my tongue.
Okay. All right. So as we're warming into the major things in our conversation, I would want to ask about the Ghanaian entertainment, our music, our movies and all that. Have you had any opportunity to watch any of our movies or seen any of our movies, and the music, the type of music we do here in Ghana? Does it resonate with you?
Well, movies is not my strong part. I don't go a lot to movies, not even in Israel. But music, I love it, and I go almost at least twice, 3 times a month to listen to local music.
I see.
And I enjoy it very, very much. Otherwise, I would not go. And I have already several discs, so I can listen in the car when I'm driving.
Okay.
And I love the music. I think the music is wonderful. I am a big fan of theater. I've been here in more in the theater than I am going in Israel, and I'm going quite a lot. You have good potential. There is one big problem. It's the advertisement. You have to dig deep to find out when you have a good show, and the shows are good and enjoyable and a very high level. We saw, what was it? Oedipus? No. Yeah, Oedipus.
Okay.
With Ghanaian group, which was on a very, very internationally high level.
I see.
So I enjoy.
Great. Good to know that. Now that we've settled in and we've warmed you up, let's talk about some very serious issues.
You make me frightened.
That's why I started on a very nice note with you. But let's look at Ghana-Israel relationship, from where you said. How or why is Ghana an important partner to Israel?
Well, that's still count.
That's still count. Okay, I didn't go too on. All right, that's fine.
Ghana is an important country, not only for Israel. Ghana is an important country in Africa, a leading country. And as a leading country, Ghana is important to Israel. We see here lots of potential. Again, because of the democracy, because of the education, because of the economy, we see here a lot of potential. Israel has changed its attitude towards Africa in the last 2 years. And Africa today is more in the focus of the Israeli diplomacy than it used to be beforehand. Because Africa is the next market of the world, the next place to develop in the world. Africa is the future. Africa, within 10, 15 years, will stop being a big importer of food and everything, but will be the biggest exporter. Of course, it's not coming from nothing. You need to work hard for that. But I see hardworking people around. And because we see the future here, so we invest here lots of efforts to be part of it, to be part of the future of the world, to be part of the future of Africa, to be part of the future of Ghana. And we have some advantages that the other countries don't have, mainly because we are not superpower. And we don't have any intentions to influence to one thing or another. We are here because we want good relations. We need the good relations. And we can give a very high quality technology.
Okay.
Because the one thing you can talk about Israel with no doubt is the very high level of technology that you can reach in many, many different areas. Whether we are talking about agriculture or medicine or space or cyber or you name it, water, you name it. Israel is on a very high level, and when I'm recommending an Israeli technology here, an Israeli company that will come and invest here or will come and cooperate here, I know that I give you the best.
Okay.
So I can sleep very well. And you know, one of the things in my age, you have to sleep well.
All right. So let's get deeper into the conversation. So Israel has an embassy here in Ghana. Now, for most people, they may not have a proper appreciation of what the embassy does here in Ghana, but we are happy to have you here with us. So tell us, typically, what are some of the activities the embassy here in Ghana is engaged in on a day-to-day basis?
Well, we're talking first political, diplomatical connections with the government. That's, of course, that's the basis. We're talking about economic ties. We're talking about cultural ties. We're talking about contact with the press. Consular work, lots of consular work, too much of consular work.
Lots of Ghanaians want to travel out, is that the case? To Israel?
Lots of Ghanaians want to travel, but the problem is not that they want to travel. The biggest problem is that they don't want to come back.
They don't want to, and that's always a headache for
It's a big headache. I don't think it's a headache for us.
Yes.
It's a headache for Ghana.
Oh, well, talk to us.
And because seriously, I see a good future in Ghana. I think that Ghanaians will have much better life working here, investing here. I don't understand Ghanaians that invest in other countries. And as a representative of Israel, of course I want to see investments coming from Ghana to Israel.
Right.
But I think that the priority of Ghanaian businessmen is to invest here, to invest in Ghana, and to have to develop here more jobs. And you know, you have more jobs, you have more people with money, so the whole economy is running in a different way.
I see. So your activities is not just restricted to Accra, but you get opportunity to travel to other places to engage on a number of things you've mentioned.
Obviously. We've been to the western region. I had to go to the north, but I became sick, so I couldn't go, but I will go. I will go. I promise I will go north, and the upper east, upper west, they are very important. Actually, for me, I feel there probably more at home than in Accra, because like 40 years ago, means, you know, it shows how old I am. Together with my friends, we established kibbutz in the desert in Israel. And you know, we started in a place where there were just rocks and sands, and today it's a green island in the middle of the desert that exports vegetables and dates all over the world, that have a cowshed of over 600 milking cows that produce more milk than any cow in most of the world.
I see.
So no, you can do it. I feel in the north, where you have less rain and more desert, I feel far more comfortable than in a big city like Accra.
Accra. Okay. So
and I feel very comfortable here.
Oh, I know that. That's why you're here with us. We're happy to have you here with us. Now, yesterday, those who monitor world politics, woke up to the news that Donald Trump has been elected as president for the United States of America. We know U.S. and Israel have very good relationship well. So we want to find out from you how or what do you envisage, in terms of your relationship with the U.S. with Donald Trump elected as president for the United States?
I think that Donald Trump will continue the very good, close relations between the U.S. and Israel. We had no doubt that none of the candidates, whether it's Trump or Clinton, will change something about it. And if there will be a change, it will be only an improvement in the good relations and not anything else. Israel is too important to the United States, and the United States is, of course, very important. To Israel. We share common values, and I'm sure that those very close relations will continue. I don't think that in the United States it matters who is the president, to continue those very, very close, good relations.
So as most world leaders feel a bit shaken and, because they assume that the stance Donald Trump takes is going to have impact on foreign policy and all that. Israel is comfortable. It doesn't matter who is at the helm of affairs in the United States. You believe the relationship will still continue and even grow stronger.
We are quite sure that that is what's going to happen, but I'm quite sure that the whole world should not be worried about Donald Trump and a change. There is not going to be a world war as I hear around. I believe in responsibility of leaders, and I am sure that the whole world will see very soon that there is no reason of any fear.
Okay.
He's coming from the private sector, and I'm sure that he will help the private sector around the world to flourish. And when the private sector is flourishing, it means that you have more reason for peace, not for war.
Okay, good. So it happens that you are here with us in Ghana, and for a few years ahead or years ahead, you're going to be here in Ghana. So directly, how do you see the presidency of Donald Trump influencing African policy? Because you're going to work with us, you're going to stay with us for a long while. So we want to find out from your perspective, do you think that, like you rightly put it, Israel is strong, Israel has a good relationship with America, and therefore you don't have any qualms about that. But let's come back to Africa. Let's look at Ghana and then the impact, of Donald Trump presidency on Africa, on Ghana, which will ultimately affect your work you do here, because for the meantime, you are engaged here in Ghana with us.
Well, I'm not the spokesperson of Donald Trump, but I am sure that Donald Trump will do everything he can to improve the situation in Africa and to improve the Ghana-US relationship. And I see no reason for Ghana or for Africa to be worried.
Okay.
But I'm representing Israel and not the United States.
Okay, so that's very understandable. Now let's look at Ghana politics. At least you've been here for a year and some days or some months, and you've seen the politics that is ongoing. And it happens that this year is an election year. What are your general impressions so far of how Ghanaians react to politics and engage in politics, especially in an election year like 2016?
I think that Ghanaians are very much involved on one hand, but because they're such nice people, it's not very dramatic. It's not very violent as one could expect. It is quite calm elections comparing to what I saw in other countries.
Right.
And I have one message actually to the Ghanaians, but it's a message to everybody, anywhere, wherever you have elections. vote. You want to influence. Your way to influence is by voting. After voting, you have the right to be satisfied or not satisfied. And then you can complain. If you are not satisfied, you can complain. But if you did not vote, you don't have the right to be not satisfied, because you didn't do what you had to do. And that is to influence by voting. So vote.
It's key. In all this conversation, voting remains key.
Voting is the key. The key of your own future.
I see. Now, I'm sure you may have heard issues about some political parties taking up issues with the electoral commissioner in our judicial system, in courts, and then all that. Looking at the outcome of all these things, does it give you that firm conviction that Ghana is indeed a growing democracy and all our institutions, for that matter, are working at that? Absolutely.
Ghana has proved already that Ghana is a democracy, a real democracy. Ghana has proved that the importance of being a democratic country. Ghana has proved that it's possible to be a democratic country in Africa. And I don't know better system than democracy. So that's why I enjoy very much the democratic life in Ghana. One of the reasons it's so good and so nice to live here is because of the democratic values that Ghana and Israel share.
I see. Now, let's talk about some business. I know there's a Ghana-Israeli business chamber.
Yep.
Can you tell us more about it? And what do you think Ghanaian business people can do to ensure that they make maximum benefit out of that chamber?
So, in the years 2012 to 2014, the level of bilateral trade was above $100 million. And then in 2015, it dropped up to $40 million. This is a problem for us, because we want to see improvement, and that is not something that shows improvement. There is another problem, that most of that trade is an Israeli export to Ghana, and very little Ghanaian export to Israel. And I want to see more balance. I think that by creating a business chamber, bilateral business chamber, we are helping businessmen in both countries to meet each other and to make business. Ghana has a lot of products that Ghana can sell to Israel, but there is no connection. So we are actually building now the connection. And Israel can, of course, export much more of its technology to Ghana, because the technology of Israel is on the highest possible level. Most of the international high-tech companies have their R&D, research and development centers in Israel, because the Israelis are very creative people, innovative people. I think that even on that level, the connection between Ghana and Israel is very important for Ghanaians, because in Ghana you can see that you have the beginning of those centers of high-tech, and therefore you have to invest in the place where you have already the seeds, and here you have more than seeds. And I believe that after the chamber will start working, within a year or two, we will see a huge difference in the economic relations, and then we'll see a massive interest. We create something, we create it because we want to see a change. And we want absolutely to see a change.
I see. So with your engagement with some Ghanaian businessmen, I'm sure with your line of work, you get to engage with a Ghanaian businessman, you know. Do you have that conviction that, yes, Ghanaian businessmen or the Ghanaian business people are generally ready to embrace this opportunity to ensure that both nations benefit from the relationship?
I don't want to generalize. No, it's not generally. You have Ghanaian businessmen that are ready, and you have Ghanaian businessmen that are not ready, exactly as you have Israeli businessmen that are ready and other Israeli businessmen that are not ready. Right. I'm sure that those who are ready can make the change, and they will enjoy the Israeli technology. It's not they, it's Ghana will enjoy. And we'll see. Till I will finish my posting here in Ghana, I'm sure we'll see a huge change in the economic field.
Right.
Sure.
Okay. So let's come back and talk about sports. You know, let's find out from you. You know, Ghanaians are very excited, especially about football. You know, but I'm not too sure what really excites Israel when it comes to sports. But you can tell us about that. And then your impressions so far with the Ghanaian sporting landscape, from football to tennis and to all that. So far, which one really excites you, and which one have you been following closely?
Hey, I'll tell you the truth. I'm not following closely the sport in Ghana. A little bit maybe the football, and not because I'm very much interested in football, but because the coach, national coach of Ghana, Avram Grant, is an Israeli. And because of that, you can say that Ghana national team has supporters not only in Ghana but also in Israel. Besides that, I don't watch much sport in Ghana. I don't really know what's going on in the sports in Ghana. In Israel, football is also very popular, but not as successful as in Ghana. Basketball is very popular, but the most successful sport in Israel is judo.
Judo, oh, I see.
And in the last Olympic Games, we won 2 bronze medals in judo. So we're very happy about that. But judo is a very small sport, minor one. It's not enough. I think that Israel should put more attention into sports, and then we will be more successful. As for Ghana, as I said, I really don't know.
Okay, no problem about that. That's fine. But now let's try and then go into the future. You've already spent 1 year here in Ghana, and so far so good, as they put it. Now we want to know from you, for the rest of the years you have left to stay in Ghana, what are you expecting to do to leave a very strong impact on the Ghana-Israeli relationship?
As I said, the first thing is to improve the economic relations. You have in Ghana quite a lot of Israeli companies and Israelis living here that are doing very good job, whether it is in infrastructure, in agriculture, in cyber, in high tech. You have quite a lot of them, and they're doing good job, because our main concern is first and foremost the quality that we give you. We talked about credibility. Credibility is also important in business.
In business.
And quality is part of credibility. Now, Israeli companies here, I can say 100%. Their main focus is to give you the highest possible quality of products. It's not always the cheapest one, but it's good. Now, we are saying that we are not rich enough to buy cheap. Ghana is also not rich enough to buy cheap. Because you buy cheap, you have to buy more.
Right.
But if you invest once in a good, high quality product, as the Israeli products are, so you enjoy it for a longer time. And you have to calculate what is better for you and what is not better for you. My goal is to convince you that quality is more important. My goal is to see after 3 or 4 or 5 years, I don't know how long I'm going to stay here, that the relations in the field of economy, in the field of education, in the field of medicine, are going to improve for the benefit of both countries. And in the field of culture, very important, field of culture. And I want to believe that we will see that huge change. And you have to understand we are a very new embassy. I'm the second resident ambassador of Israel in Ghana after many years. And my predecessor started from zero, and we are already far away of that zero, and we'll reach the top, I hope, before I leave Ghana.
Great. Now, you have lots of viewers all over Ghana watching this conversation. In your final words, I would want you to speak to the people of Ghana, especially with regards to how we accept and embrace the relationship Israel wants to have with Ghana, so that not just at the governmental level, but everybody in Ghana will benefit from that fruitful relationship with Israel.
I want to say first that I feel from the people, I'm not talking about the government.
Right.
We have good connection with the government and good connection with the parliament and with the opposition and with everyone. But from the people in the street, we, Israel, feel lots of love. There is lots of love to Israel in Ghana. And this is something very comfortable, very nice. And we want to continue that love between us, brothers and sisters,
right?
Because it's a better way to have good relations. We're doing from time to time seminars.
Okay.
After all, Israel is the Holy Land.
Yes, you make a
and
good point.
We have the privilege to know the Holy Land, and we want to share also our knowledge. And that we do not with the government or the government official, but we do it with the people.
The people, all right.
We have a very close relations with many reverends and bishops and archbishops, because it's important for us, but it's important for them as well.
True.
And I'm sure that even here, love between Ghana and Israel will continue, will deepen. That is my message. Let's continue that love towards Israel, and the love of Israel is to Ghana. And Ghana is a very surprising country, mainly because of the calmness of the people.
I see. I see.
And we are coming from a very nervous neighborhood.
Okay, all right. So, His Excellency Ami Mel, let me say a very big thank you to you for making time to have this conversation with us. We wish you well for the rest of your stay here in Ghana, and hopefully before you go or exit Ghana, we'll come back into the studio and we'll talk about some of the things you were able to achieve and do whilst you are the ambassador here to Ghana. So we wish you well, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. All right, so viewers, please stay with us. We'll be back after this break.